David Smith. I'm a partner at Maynard, Cooper & Gale. Our office is at 11 North Water Street. I am not a resident of Mobile. I've practiced in Birmingham through my career, although I've been in Mobile for many, many matters over 32 plus years. I've represented Walter Energy for all of that 30 plus years in my law practice. I know some about them, and I know some about the coal industry, and that's why it's a privilege to try and deliver a message today in the spirit of the proceedings that you have in a time when the coal market was better, in particular the met coal market, which is a part of the steel making industry. Walter had an opportunity to open a new mine, and it was a metallurgical coal mine, and they were going to call it the Blue Creek Mine. They saw the estimated production that would come from that mine and identified a need to have more port capacity so that they could export that coal. Their coal, for the most part, is not burned in Alabama. It's exported to steel-making countries in Europe, South America, and Asia. They looked for a terminal opportunity to expand that capacity. They had already done business at McDuffie as a deliverer of their product there. They saw this opportunity to buy the Mobile River Terminal, and they bought it at a substantial investment of tens of millions of dollars. The facility there was dilapidated, not in good shape, but they had the opportunity, every legal right, to operate the facility with only modest adjustments, have no planned use application process, succeed them in those permits, and be shipping coal there today. Walter chose a different option. The option that Walter chose was to buy the facility, let the permit there after they had cleared away the old equipment, and then rehabilitated those docks that were eroding in Mobile Bay. They went in under those docks, they built in substantial understructure and stopped the erosion into the bay that had been going on for more than a decade, and then prepared to build a new facility. They were becoming a partner with Mobile in the commerce of the world. They were connecting Alabama natural resources with manufacturing operations across the globe, and Mobile is an essential partner in that process. Walter did not undertake this project with the idea of doing it the way it had always been done. The specific terminal had been used for bulk handling, as you all know. You've all been out to the site, I believe, most all of you for sure. It has been a bulk handling facility for ages, for 60 plus years. And that's what Walter wanted to do with it. So Walter came in, saw the opportunity, decided to build a state-of-the-art facility, a facility that has covered conveyors, all the conveyors, all the transfer points in the conveying system enclosed. And I mean enclosed differently than covered. Covered where it's a belt moving it, where it dumps from one belt onto another, it's enclosed at that point. And as logic would tell you, and experience may as well, when you transfer it in that manner, it creates some stir and some dust comes. Those points in this process are enclosed. You'll hear more about that in our presentation. What I want to talk to you about briefly is our process. We went to considering these coal dust management devices to suppress it, to keep it on our property. But remember this, the financial incentive is to keep the coal dust there. The coal dust is the product. When you open a facility and you're going to manufacture something, the material that comes out of the smokestack, that's the waste product. That's the emissions that go somewhere and you need to be rid of. With a coal terminal, there is no burning of coal. There is no burning of coal, and I know that you know that, but it's an important thing to take account of, that we want the coal to stay there. That's where the financial incentives are. That's an additional reason to wet it, and where the allegation is that Walter would send his own coal there and not have an ongoing regard need to keep the coal and the coal dust on the property and get it on the ship and send it to someone, they're paid by the ton. So there is an economic incentive there. The environmental considerations are substantial for Walter. Walter is an underground, primarily underground coal mining business. There's hardly an industry in the United States that is regulated a fraction of the amount that their industry is. They know how to see regulations. They know how to comply with them. No one is perfect, but they do a great job managing very difficult and dangerous conditions, 3/4 of a mile underground, where there are deep hazards, serious hazards. So compliance with regulations is part of what Walter does. Now, this planning commission staff process, it was diligent, ruling, they were demanding, they never let us go. When they asked for something, they expected it in response. Every time that we could, we provided it. When we couldn't, we met. We told them what they were asking for and how we would get it, how it would be less than the exact max. But we had a very collaborative process, and they held us to a very high standard, and the Planning Commission decision is sound. The decision to focus on Mobile's law, we were fully in compliance. The Planning Commission held us to that standard in every way, and that was an appropriate decision, a lawful decision that is not due in any sense to be reconsidered or reversed. Now, in this phase, we've been working with the City Council. The City Council has, in our exposure into the site, you've read the materials that we've given you, you've talked to us, you have asked us the hardest questions that we've encountered, other than some of the Planning Commission staff, who were particularly tenacious. And now you're conducting a generous public hearing, just giving everybody a chance to voice their opinion. We commend what you've done to now and appreciate the time and effort that you've put into this process.